Hello. Welcome back to another account review, and this account review is at the end of the season. I managed to secure Emperor for a second time. Okay, let's get started. So basically this season I've been cleaving, purely cleaving, and yeah. So I can only show the last 10 days since 7.gg could not project anything here until like probably a day later. Okay, so yes, I've been doing TML Cleave for probably the second half of the season, and yes, I've been doing pretty well with TML Cleave, which is actually pretty insane. Besides, Brasilia Cleave and Ren Cleave for this season, she's not the best. Definitely she's not the best. A lot of people have really figured out how to counter her, but she's still a very stable Cleave opener because she doesn't rely that much RNG compared to like Brasilia and Ren. They're like death breaking for like 85%. Okay, and she's a single target Cleave, so she has less headache dealing with like Dilibet that's been buffed, Elena that's been buffed. So yeah, basically TMR. Okay, and I got to like 35, 58 within like 1,400 games, almost 1,005. And let's start the count review then. Let's go. So basically I will sort them by speed, and I'll explain how I actually use them, and basically the stats have been shown here too. So we start off with Celeste, the fastest unit in my account. And yeah, Celeste is on renewed will, and basically I only use her for racing, because the reason why I'm playing Cleave is I'm missing a lot of like unit like Elena, like Senya and stuff, and I recently only got like Tywin. So yeah, my account is really on a very bad state if I'm gonna play like standard and stuff. So basically I'm forced to Cleave, but it's my choice too. Yes, Celeste is basically for racing purposes, and I don't take TML to race. If I know my opponent is cleaving, I'll try to avoid picking TML unless they pivot, right? The moment they see my first two pick and they pivot to play slow, yes, I'll pick my TML. If they are still gonna continue race, yes, Celeste would definitely be my pick. Okay, and that's the reason why I have a slow TML, still able to secure like 57-58% win rate with TML. And most of the time when I race, I lose because speed RNG is just kind of ass. Okay, next, Luna. This is a very strong unit. Okay, I'll be first picking her if she's available. She's definitely a first pick unit for most other people. She's so annoying to deal with. You have to draft very awkwardly with having like Achetes on your turret, locking Achetes on the turret, so she's kind of ass to deal with. So having her stops a lot of unit too, with the AoE seal and stuff. Yeah, and the reason why I built her with like crit chance. A lot of people ask, oh, why do you even build her with crit chance? Yes, because sometimes when I first pick her and my opponent is racing, and I'm racing too, her only job is to S2 and snipe off their imprint or snipe off their openers. So with this build, her S2, if I land a death rate, she usually do about 10k. So I'm able to snipe off one imprint and able to push up my team, because I'll be drafting, I'll confirm be drafting like Sachet on my imprints. So yes, that's the value of having crit chance on her. Right, she's a crit chance snack. Okay, next, my TML. Yeah, my TML is not like a full damage TML because I do not have a crit damage fast snack. all my fast necks are on chance, unfortunately. So I'm forced to play her on chest neck. That's why you see like she doesn't have like, you know, really good damage like high attack or high crit damage. But because I'm playing quick chest neck, I'm able to open imprint her, and actually this open imprint have helped me a lot on my DPS department to, you know, especially on my green Cidd able to snipe up like really tanky unit, or my BBK able to wipe, you know, my opponent team off easily because of the 12.9% attack, which is actually huge. Next, okay, will be my Nahkwol. Definitely, if you are cleaving and you are banning Zio, right, Handle would be the best artifact for her instead of adding. Yep, I hope that I could get like 290 speed and more F. But since, okay, TML is my opponent and she holds a bow, so 160 F, acceptable, not the worst. Next will be Wondrous Silk. Okay, definitely a plus 14 imprint, very important. And the reason why I have her on immunity, because I'm using Sachet, right? If you're not using Sash, I mean, if you are not on immunity, probably you want her on Guiding Light, so at least you have a buff on her first turn to enable her to full attack on the S2. So yeah, if you're having her on Sachet, definitely you need immunity set on her. And the most important thing is to have effectiveness, because a lot of time you might not want to draft Veronica because she's only a 10 speed imprint, and you'll be forced to face unit like Amiki, your first face unit like BBK to anti-cleave you, you know, because they just pivot out, right? They pussy and pivot out for not racing you, and they start drafting like weird ass unit like, you know, Amiki and, you know, BBK. So yeah, having like super high F on her, it's really good because S2 lands like 2 turn silence, decrease attack and remove 1 buff. So basically, if you know BBK without immunity, they literally die to Silk. No care. SPP, yeah, she's basically my PvE unit. For Expo, I think I draft her like less than 10 games. Veronica, yeah, I do draft her a lot. Ever since Afternoon Soak Flan release, and ever since BBK has become so strong in the meta. So if I happen to draft Flan or BBK, yes, she'll be my imprint instead of Green Cidd. Okay, because Veronica pairs really well with them. Okay, and Veronica is able to set up a death break for BBK, so when you BBK S3, it's enabled to kill off 1 unit and take a second turn to kill off other unit. So yeah, she really pairs up very good with BBK. And for Afternoon Soak Flan wise, obviously you death break S3 with someone and S1 and dual attack with Flan, but you're definitely gonna snipe off at least 1 unit. Okay, Frida, I don't really draft her a lot, because I'm gonna third pick TML. But let's say if I can smell an ER opponent, okay, usually ER opponent draft like Valiant on third, so that they force you to not have soul, so that they can maximize their ER stats, right? Because soul burn, ignore ER, that means they are literally losing like 300 gear score from their whole team. So yes, if I smell an ER abuser, I'll have her on third instead of TML, and I usually drafting like, you know, Luna first pick, and I'll end up with like Nahkwol fourth pick and having her being locked on third. Immunity wise, I mean, I don't have fast scale with HP, so basically, you know, it's just coincidence I have it on my immunity, so I just put it on immunity since I have like really low ER on her. Like her job for me is just to counter ER players. Elena, yes, this unit I've been drafting her quite a lot ever since the last week of the RTA season. Just because racing is kind of ass. Speed RNG for 300 speed above is, I mean, the gap is too big. So to secure game better, I prefer to pivot. Okay, instead of racing, instead of egoing your opponent, sometimes I'd rather just pivot. It's much safer and it gives you like higher win rate too. So there comes Elena, and yeah, since after her buff, cleansing one debuff before she push up stuff, she doesn't need ER anymore. Like, just make her like super fast so that she's able to cut like, you know, luck weight and stuff. Especially with Rand cleavers and Brasilia cleavers. Yeah, like 260 speed, that's good enough. You don't need to have ER. If you have ER for such a fast Elena with decent bulk, right, that's way better. Put her on Maharaga Tome too, so she's enabled to cut. Okay, next, Afternoon Soak Flan. Ever since she released, I love this unit. Okay, she's such a good unit. Alright, she's definitely a first pick priority for me too. If Luna is being banned, it's being pre-banned. So basically, for cleavers who or people who play aggressive, you want her to build faster. And she's way more useful if she's fast, but she's there to push up your unit, right? Land a death break, push up your DPS, your slower DPS to one shot, right, after she lands a death break. And since people have been drafting a lot of Solly on her, like having her on like super slow max damage, like hard base speed build, makes her useless. So yeah, I mean, she's not gonna take a turn, and she doesn't have focus, you know, if your opponent draft a Solly. So she's gonna be a useless unit. You're gonna be have her like 3v4. Okay. So yeah, that's the main reason why I made her faster. Alright. Instead of having a maximum damage slow Flan. Laya, don't really draft her even for anti-cleave. But usually if I pivot out, I only have like 3 or 2 slots left to pivot out. You know, my first 2 draft, my first 2 pick will be definitely, you know, fast unit, and then you know, you realize that your opponent is picking fast too, and you want to pivot, so you don't really have the luxury of a lot of picks left for you. So yeah, definitely Laya is not a good anti-cleave unit for 3-4-5, so I've not drafted her for the whole season. Next, Straze. Alright, you might be bad, but alright, listen. There's still a lot of people who pre-ban Elena. If Elena is being pre-banned and your opponent is tanking down when you're cleaving, he's such a good unit. Okay, he's such a good unit. And since my TML S2 provide attack buff to the whole team, I don't need him to be an Archie, so I put him on portrait for more damage. At 4k 300. And speed wise, right, TML is a breach herself, so it's fine to build him a bit slower. Just as long as you know just do a damage calculate, as long as he's able to kill off the highest HP, you know, with an Aureus in his team, that's good enough. And this is definitely able to kill like any high HP unit, even though they have the Aureus or Albedo. I mean, if there's Aureus plus Albedo, you might not kill, but you know, if there's either one, this Straze is still gonna kill. 251 speed. Next, 250 DDR. Yeah, if you're playing aggro or if you're playing Cleave, you definitely want a faster DDR. Okay, and a high effectiveness ones. Right. Bulk wise, it doesn't really matter, because all you want to do is just to move fast before your opponent take a turn, because sometimes, you know, you don't have enough damage to cleave them down. So DDR is there to buy, you know, another turn for you to, you know, after sleeping your opponent for 1 turn. So he provides a cushion for your cleave team to take turn 2 safely. And yeah, if you don't have such high effectiveness, you can always go for the secretary branch. But since I hit like 200 effectiveness, I just put him on Potion Vial. But sometimes ER cheeses they just stack up way too much ER. Like, you know, if I feel like that day I just face a lot of ER players, or I'll sometimes I just swap back to Secretary Branch instead of Potion Vial, but most of the time I'll be on Potion Vial. Okay, Achetes. This unit, I'll say one of the best anti-cleave unit. Okay. Whenever I just don't feel like racing, especially after I pick like S2 unit, like example like Aluna first pick followed by Green Cidd, then my opponent draft like 2 plus 14 alright on their first 2 team. It'll be like, god damn, I'm not gonna raise this guy, he already have like 214 in print. So what I do is you slam an Achates on turn, and she doesn't need ER, because what she needs to do is just to cut. Cut their openers, take a turn, sharp a unit, a game-changing unit, like a unit that stuns the whole team, or a unit that can disrupt them. Alright, and that's game over. That's why you need a fast Achates for that. For sure you need a fast Achates for that. With Eternus. Eternus is a bit better than Socon if you're on a fast Achates that doesn't have ER. Okay, next, Cidd. One of the most drafted unit for me. He's my main DPS, definitely. Okay, a second pick for me. So since I'm cleaving with TML, I'm not using him to raise. So I have him on the slower speed and maximum DPS. He's on like super high DPS gear. And like I've shown you, my TML is on open imprint. That 12.9% into this 3.7k attack, that this Cidd is one-shotting a lot of tank. Next, Dragon King Sharun. I don't really draft her. Except if my opponent draft like third pick Yufine into like Sage Pile, that's where I draft her. Okay. My 4th, 5th pick will be like, Sharun plus Roana, like something like that. So I don't have to ban their Sage Bar, I just have to ban their last pick. Probably like, they go for like Sage Bar Achates, so I just choose to ban Achates and leave Sage Bar in. Yeah, and definitely you want him to be, you want her to be pretty fast too, because after your opponent take a turn, Sage Bar will get pushed up, and Sage Bar S2, it will proc her. Alright. And then she's able to push up and cleanse your whole team and push your opponent back. And basically when you're facing anti-Cleave team, they are mostly Knights and Soul Weavers. So you're definitely gonna death break the whole team and push them back. So yeah, you want high effectiveness on her too. Like since I can't get 200 effectiveness, so I put a second Field Branch on her just to compensate the lack of effectiveness. But A Tywin, it's basically 258 Tywin. I move him away from the Growth of Grace, and yes, I do draft him for anti-Cleave. Okay, it will be like about 25k HP, so like 1.4k defense. Okay, hold on. I was testing out Zero. Just let me put him back in so you can see the full stats. Right, let's get back to Tyrant. Holy shit, where's the Tyrant? Right, so this is basically the Tyrant, 6k, 1.4k. I do draft him when I'm pivoting to anti-Cleave, because one, he's on patch there, so buff stacking is really good, and his S2 actually cleansed one debuff away, so it's actually pretty solid. Okay, where do I stop? Elena, so Flan, go through all this. Okay, yeah, after this Gala, okay, I have a slower Gala. Right, the reason why is because when special opponent doesn't, when special opponent you ban, something like Elena, ML Elena, alright, and they slam a super tank, that's where you slam a Straze plus Gala. And if they happen to let both of them go through, right, there's one disadvantage on it, okay? If they have like Politis, a red Politis, or they have Celine, right, Gala will actually pop them. Like, that's the reason why I have Gala and speed slower than Straze, because I want my Straze to go first before Gala, because Straze kill one unit. When my Gala kill another unit to pop them, at least my Straze get a move for that. Right? So there'll be like 2 units dead before, you know, Politis get a move for Celine, you know, push up Celine, and Celine gets 2 kills up on my team. So at least I get like 2 units off the board first. Right? That's the reason why I have a slower Gala. Right? It's just to speed tune with my Straze. Okay, Surin, 14 in print. Put on portrait just to make sure that she have enough damage to just one shot your opponent in print too. So that's the reason why I put her on, like, you know, hit damage, high attack. Surin. I rarely draft this unit. She's definitely on the slower side since most of the time I'll be drafting TML. So with TML S3 push, this speed is good enough. And I do have her on effectiveness build because sometimes you just want her to strip, like especially having, you know, your opponent drafting like Moon Bunny and stuff. So when, you know, you want S2 to strip the immunity of them, then just stun them and stuff. So I go for the effectiveness build. Okay, nothing much. It's just a unit to counter like Moon Bunny third pick. When you draft a lot of unit like Nahkwol, DDR or TML, they were like, oh, you have extra turn. I'll just slam a Moon Bunny. And what can they do? If they do that, just slam more extra turn unit. Okay, Vildred. Right, it's a normal Vildred. Speed and pain. I have him on symbol just to make sure that he's able to kill units. For sure. And definitely if you want to build a Vildred, you want to make sure that he has the highest attack whenever you draft him. Because the reason is because when you draft Wanderer Seal and then you go for Vildred, you want your Wanderer Seal S2 to always dual attack with Vildred. Okay, because if you dual attack, if you want to pull a Vildred S1 and kill off someone, he'll pop the S2 and then he take a turn again to S3 and pop S2 again. And most of the time, if you are racing like that, you're gonna be winning. Okay. BBK, one of the strongest unit this season. Don't have to say much. 230 speed, just so that she's able to cut up enough. Okay, and I usually draft BBK with a Death Breaker because you want to set up a Death Break for BBK S3 to kill off at least one or two unit, or just wipe out the whole team, and then if you're able to kill at least one unit, she get to take an extra turn on S1. So that's the reason why we like to pair her together with Veronica, since Veronica S3 does land a Death Break. Or if I draft her with Cidd, just to make sure that with Cidd, sorry, with the green Cidd, just make sure your Cidd is a bit faster to set up kill for BBK. Always when you are playing BBK, you just want to set up her S3 into S1. Okay, if she's a win con, you always want to do that. Set her up for S3 to S1. Right, that's how you basically win games with BBK. Easy as that. Genoa, I could pick a decent game. Genoa, especially when, like I said, Elena is being pre-banned, and they do have unit that does a lot of AoE and stuff that forced to hit your Genoa, so you will proc your Genoa and just start killing people when he have rage. Yep, Fumyr, she's basically on book, but I move her book to 0. Okay, 261F. I did quite a lot of games with her this season, like not really a lot compared to previous season. She's a really good unit for people who tank down, because they're slow and they're like super tanky. So providing you 2-turn sleep with 2-turn death break is very valuable. And with TML Cleave, you're able to play her really easily. Just make sure that you drop DDR with her together, a green and a blue unit. Even though you don't have like both green and blue unit, as long as you have one of the element and you have DDR there, it shouldn't be an issue for Fumyr. SPA, I don't really rely on this unit, okay? Just because TML doesn't strip, you're forced to draft another stripper, and if you want to know what they do is they'll just ban your stripper, right? Because nowadays, most of the people who, I mean, they are anti-cleave unit, right? They are just full immunity. Okay, so it's really hard game for SPA if you are playing TML Cleave. Right, that's a very big bet. You have to bet that your opponent doesn't have immunity on their team. Mort, ever since his buff, this unit is crazy. Okay, like he's just so good. Into anti-cleave unit, especially those people who play a lot of Abyssals, a lot of counter unit, especially people who pick like Candy, Yufine, Blood Moon Haze, or even Amiki, right? Because if you stop Amiki from countering, you actually stop a lot of her momentum, right? She couldn't 1v4 if she couldn't counter. The most is what? Playing 1 or 2 of your unit, and Amiki can't even solo Mort because Mort has just way too much HP. Okay, I'm not playing a full damage Mort with like 14k HP, like 3k attack, and full crit damage, so yeah, having like high HP Mort is still good, and yeah, he's a decent 4-5 pick, right, for TML Cleave. Okay, I don't really draft her. Karin, yeah, it's just a, like I said, if you need no van, I not draft her better this season. Holy, I rarely draft her, okay, unless I know that, okay, need to do a bit of CR cut, especially when they have like Achetes and stuff. Okay, that's where I do draft her, but I rarely draft her because I'd rather draft like Roana and Nahkwol and stuff. Schuri another 14 imprint. Okay, and I have him built slower. Okay, just because I want the whole team to move before Schuri take a turn, and since I'm drafting like TML, right? So TML is holding a book, and I'll leave the soul burn for Schuri so he can S3 into S1, right? To push up my whole team to lap my opponent. Okay, and with full damage Schuri, the S3 into S. I mean he's S3 into S1. I definitely pack a punch. It hits really hard. Okay, and I definitely have him on sachet too. Like if my silk is being picked by my opponent, at least I have another sachet. Alright. And yeah. Watcher, he's holding sachet too. Just to make sure that he's able to kill. Celine, I don't really draft her. Roana, it's a PvE unit. Achetes is a Guild War unit. Blood Moon Haze, I just remove him from counter set. Since if I'm really cleaving, okay, counter doesn't really help. I just want him to like survive long enough. Okay, so I have him on speed set, max HP build, and on counter, and definitely on idle chill. Because if you're cleaving, you just want to take as much tempo as possible so that you can lap the opponent again and again. And Blood Moon Haze is just being picked if your opponent doesn't have ill enough, and you are like, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice at least 1 or 2 units up front. So that's where you draft Blood Moon Haze. You know that Blood Moon Haze is gonna proc and then kill off 1 unit and revive your whole team. Okay, and turn the game around. That's where you draft Blood Moon Haze Cleave. I mean, that's a dead unit. Same goes for this. Pretty much Aiden is kind of dead. It's a Guild War unit. RA is just a Guild War unit for me. Right, Sus. Yeah, I do play Sus a lot. I have decent amount of game on him, and he's one of the highest win rate unit in my. For me in this season, he has like over 60% win rate for me. About 62 if I remember correctly, about 62, 63. Yes, I have him built on a like a cable speed. Okay, since TML is pushing like 20% and his S2 push him up like 30%, so he's basically able to push up like 50%. And since TML is a book holder too, just save your soul burn for SAS. And yes, his S3 with soul burn, it's just too much damage, man. You're just able to kill off like literally any tank. Okay, and this build, with TML open in pain, I'm even able to kill a Dragon Bright Senya with a S2 prop. Okay, she have a tick shield on her S2, doesn't really matter. Just soul burn SAS into it, Senya is still dead. That's how much damage a SAS can do. Very good unit. Alright. I don't draft arrow well. Okay, this Green Armin. I mean, definitely you guys will be asking like why is counter, or why is not Destro, why is not always and stuff. Okay. I only draft him for one and mainly one situation. If someone is such an asshole, they know that I'm a TML cleaver, or they happen to be also a TML cleaver, and they took TML away from me, I'll be slamming Green Army. Like, fuck that. Because usually TML cleavers are single target cleavers, except they draft BBK. Right? If they don't draft BBK, most of the time they'll be going like green Cidd and stuff, so they're like single target Cleave, and that's where Green Armin is so good because of the S2, right? Mitigate single target attack 30%, and with Aureus, you're literally mitigating like 50%. So I have him on super high HP, protection set. I mean, if she counters, that's a bonus. If only she counters. Elena, draft her. I'd rather draft Mort than Elena. Yeah, this is another very good anti-Cleave unit. The CR card is just too good. Like, if you can't build like Yufine, at least just slap her like any gear. Make sure that she's like super tanky. You don't need her to be like fast. You have her like basically like super tanky with Holy Sack if possible. I mean I just don't have Holy Sack, so I have her on Abyss instead. Like, her existence itself will literally annoy the shit out of cleavers because of the CR card. So yeah, she's definitely a must build unit. But you don't really need to have like, if you can't have premium gear on her, it's fine, because I have like kind of poopy gear on her too. Yeah, basically, I mean when I pivot, I'll have her and basically Abyssal Yufine and Achetes. They comes in a pair. Okay, just to make sure that your Achetes is able to push up, right? With the CR card, you're able to cut your opponent. Okay, next, my second BBK. It's an ER BBK, base speed, Astro Gear, and yes, basically it's a anti-Cleave BBK. Yep, if they don't draft Veronica, given that they don't draft Veronica, I'll be slamming BBK on 4th-5th pick when I pivot out of Cleave when I'm racing. Oh my! Toxic Candy with Aureus. Okay, guys, listen to this. Toxic Candy, it's so fucking OP. The buff stack she provides for your team is just so insane. Okay, anti-crit buff, and then a shield that's like 2 buff. If all your team have immunity, that's literally 3 buff. It's so good against like Grand Cleavers, it's so good against like EML Cleavers. Because you have just so many buffs that they just can't strip everything. Or like DDR, if they happen to have DDR in their team too, like just provide so many buffs to your whole team that it's insane. Okay, and yeah, definitely anti-crit buff is just too good for anti-cleave. This Amiki. Right. I don't really have like premium gear on her. I don't have like 6k attack, whatever. But I have her on like super high ER. The reason is because I'm only drafting her into cleavers when I pivot, so I don't need that much of attack. Cleavers unit are really squishy. As long as you have enough damage to kill them, you're fine. Good enough. But I want to have like super high EI just so that she doesn't get debuff and stuff. Okay, next, Requim Roana. Yep, she's on a hybrid build, not on like a super high F build or super high attack build. Decent, very good unit. If you're playing Cleave, aggro, she's just a very good unit. As long as you know that you're securing the first turn, she's a marvelous unit with S1 Death Break. And S3 reset, one of the best unit. Yes, and Amalcan. Damn, this unit is actually insane anti-cleave. In certain situation, if you know that your opponent is drafting like too many imprints, they're racing you with like a lot of imprint, and you just slam like Amalcan last pick, and they're like, oh shit, should I ban the Amalcan or should I ban the imprint to grab a first turn? They'll be like, in a confused state, right? Most of the time they'll just ban Amalcan. If they don't ban Amalcan, it's just it's just an auto win for you. So basically you want a like super tanky Amalcan. You don't really need to have FRS. If you have FRS, super tank and decent damage, that's way better. But I have him on like just random gear, and he works like wonder. He definitely works like wonder. Okay, one thing, yeah, I think basically that's all. Alright, if you have any question on how I do my graph, stuff like that, you guys can ask me in my Discord. Discord link is down there. You guys can just leave a comment. I'll reply you guys ASAP. Or if you guys, you guys can always visit me when I'm doing my live stream on Twitch. Alright, ask me there, definitely gonna get the answer instantly. That's the best way. It's literally the best way. And yep, that's all. See you guys next time. Ta-ta.